Hello again everybody. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the tier chip tools. This is quite a recent mod on the workshop. This is made by a group of authors, some pretty big names there, they're really good, and I know they've been working really hard to get this thing out. So this mod consists of these red items here, the yellow ones are the vanilla, so you get some comparison. It consists of a grinder, a welder, and 4 different types of drills, different tier drills. It also consists of these 4 different chipsets, and these 2 different world items that are used to build the different tiers. Those you can make in the assembler. So looking at the drills themselves, they're a little bit different from the vanilla drills. The yellow are the vanilla, red are the modded versions. As you can see, they've got the conveyors on the sides of these drills, or possibly the top and bottom, depends how you look at it, which you don't have on the vanilla. So it means that you can put them in tighter spaces on your ship and get a little bit better design sometimes. With the mining drills, again, it's a similar system. They've got the conveyor systems on the sides and also on the backs as well, and also small conveyors on the other sides. So the chips themselves look like this, and they fit only onto the grinder and the welder. And if you can see, there's a little 2 black lines on one of the sides. It's only on one side of the square block. These chips quite simply sit right between the black lines, like so. And that will upgrade the tier to tier 1, and then obviously putting a 4 in there will upgrade the whole thing to tier 4. They require different amounts of components to build these things. So for example, tier 1 only needs a couple of items, but it does need an octo-core, which is something you can build in the assembler. If you go up to 2, obviously an octo-core, a couple of more components. 3, still need an octo-core. And then when you go to tier 4, you need something called a Xenu core, which is again built in the assembler. And I think the only difference is, we'll have a quick look at what the items are that you need to build this thing. So here, the octo-core, this is what it requires: nickel, cobalt, silver, gold, silicon and uranium, just a little bit of each thing. And then the Xenu core, requires the same stuff. I think it only needs platinum that's different, but it requires quite a bit more of each of them. So with the drills themselves, you need to rebuild the whole drill in order to upgrade the tier. There's no chipsets for these things. You find them in the UI. They're actually called large drill tier 1 in the UI. Don't let this one fool you. You can put it as small as well, so if you're using it and you hold R, you can change between small and large. It's not just for large ships, it can be used on small ones also. And using your mouse wheel scroll, you can go through the different tiers. If you look on the right hand side, and when you scroll, you can see it goes through different tiers here. So I'll do a little test of how these things work and what area of effect they work and how speedy they are. First off, I'm going to show off the bog standard vanilla grinder, just for test purposes. I've got it set to realistic grind mode at the moment on the server, so it'll run at a realistic speed. As you can see, it ain't that fast. So next we'll try out the tiered grinder. This is with no chipsets at all, so this is just plain old simple, nothing on it. When we start grinding down, you can see it does seem to be almost slower to work than the vanilla. There we go, it's starting to go down now. I actually think I might have just slightly touched the right hand side with the grinding movement there as well. The left hand side, should I say. As you can see, it does seem to be really slow, this thing. I think it's almost slower than the vanilla, but it does affect a larger area. As you can see, it's affecting all the blocks in that area. So here we're going to try out the tier 1 grinder, see how this thing affects it. That's pretty damn quick. And now as a comparison, we'll try the tier 4. That is pretty much instantly. So as you notice, these things are really quick compared to the vanilla, and they really affect a large area. I know there's been a few complaints on the forum about how fast they are and how powerful they are, and that they don't draw extra power, because I think the tier 4 uses the same power as no tiers at all. But on the other flip coin, people have been looking for mods like this for a long time, and these guys have been working really hard to get this thing working with as minimal bugs as possible. I'm sure there'll be time for tweaking and playing around in future, and maybe even, you know, having your own settings, changing your own settings in future. But for now, you know, they're supplying something that's been in big demand on the game for quite a while. I've had a little bit of a play around with the welding side of it as well, and there seems to be the equivalent of what the grinder is that I've just shown you. So same speeds and same area of effect. Again, the tiers don't actually change the area of effect. The area is still the same on every time you use it. Tier 1 to Tier 4 use the same area of effect, it's just the speed that's affected. So here I'm going to show off the drill ability on this mod. Here we've just got the vanilla drills. Have a look at what these things can do. I'm sure you all know what they can do, you've seen it before. Alrighty, so that's the vanilla drill. So next off, we're going to try out the Tier 1 drills, see how these things perform in comparison with the vanilla. As you can see, they do seem to have quite a bigger area of effect. You can get a fairly decent sized ship through this hole as you're mining out. One thing to bear in mind when you're doing these drills, make sure you put the small drill to you and not the drill, as I was just trying to do. It doesn't work like that. And finally, we'll try out the Tier 4 drills, see how these things do. So as you can see, these things are ginormous in size and what they take. At the moment, there's no way, as I understand, to like turn the Tier 4 drills off, so if you're running them on a server, they can be a bit overpowered. I'm not entirely sure. I might do a little bit of stress testing just to see how these things affect the sim speed. Alrighty, so I'm running a ship with 20 of these Tier 4 miners on it currently. Doesn't seem to be affecting the sim speed at the moment. Alright, so possibly getting a little bit extreme, but this is 100 drills on it. And we have got a little bit of sim speed droppage every time we mine, which is kind of to be expected, to be honest. Look at what this thing can do to an asteroid though, that's insane. So, yeah, you know, they're not so bad considering. You can, I don't know how they'll perform on servers, how they're going to do with that. We'll have to see, that's yet to be seen, but for now, I mean, I'd say that's not so bad with 100. So I hope this has given you a little bit of a better understanding of how this mod works and the scaling system of these tiers. I know that the guys have worked really hard on it, so I just want to thank all of the mods, Newtguard, Zero, Katniss and Rexar. Done a great job. They are saying as well that they're planning on tweaking things and adding things and changing stuff as it goes on, so it is in the early stages, this mod. If they do get it nailed, then yeah, I kind of almost think that the game should just take it up and use it themselves, but we'll see. I think they did that with the cockpit early game, didn't they? The fighter cockpit, so hey, here's hoping. So yeah, thanks very much guys for releasing this. I think a lot of people have been waiting for it and it is really useful. And if you're one of those who were thinking that the miners are a bit overpowered and whatnot, then you know, you just don't have to use them if you don't want to. There's no one making you use these things. Throw me a like and subscribe if you want to see any more of these mod reviews in future. And thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.